out, so this may be the first one. If it is, this is the first of 4 Halloween themed videos. If it's not, here's another Halloween themed video. But today, I think this might be the first one actually. Today, what we're going to be doing, as you can obviously tell by the title and by what you can see on screen, is we are doing a horror movie tier list. Now, I found this ready compiled one online. It is specifically for 2000 horror movies from the 2010s onwards, essentially. I don't think there's actually any from the 2020s onwards, which is good because I haven't actually watched that many new horror films over the last couple of years. I just feel like there haven't been as many ones that have taken my fancy, but I have seen the majority of these. So I reckon we'll just jump straight in. I do love horror movies. I really do. They scare me at the time, but very rarely will a movie sit with me for a long time. And those that do tend to be the best movies. So we've got 5 tiers, and then also haven't seen. I'm gonna essentially rank these movies with a combination of how much I enjoyed it, how scary it is, and then how well the movie is made. Essentially, I'm going to be weighing up those 3 things in order to categorize these horror movies. So I think what I should begin with is quickly skim through and move the ones I haven't seen to obviously. So just skimming. I don't think I've seen Saw 3D. I haven't seen VHS 2. Got Halloween, Annabelle, Quiet Place, Babadook. I've seen Happy Death Day 1, not seen number 2 though. I haven't seen Glass yet, although I really enjoyed Split, so it's kind of silly that I haven't watched that. We've got, what is that? Is that It? I think that's It, right? It Chapter 2, maybe. Potentially. We have It Follows. Some of the quality of these, pictures are terrible. I'm not sure what that is. We've got Oculus, Ouija 2, The Purge, Election Year, I'm not sure I've seen Purge Anarchy. I get them all a bit mixed up, to be fair. Let me just check. This hasn't gone funny as a result of going into full screen mode. No, it's just pretty bad. Okay. Velvet Buzzsaw, not sure what that is. Your Next VHS 1 I haven't seen. I think that's the one where it's almost like a compilation of different horrific deaths, if I remember. Never watched The Bye Bye Man, and never watched that. Okay, I think we're good. Oh, Ritual, I've not seen. Oh, never mind, I'm Raw. Is that Pet Cemetery? Okay, the remake. Okay, I think we're good. There are some that I'm not gonna have been able to remember, but potentially for our movie, is that an indicator that it's not a good film? So, we begin with Cabin in the Woods. There will sort of be mild spoilers, but a lot of these have been out for a long time, so it's your own fault, essentially. Cabin in the Woods is essentially, the first half of it is, you think it's going to be your typical horror movie, and I believe that's the way it was sort of marketed in the trailers and stuff. And then the other half of it just throws all of that out the window. It's a super self-aware meta movie, and it's very, very unique and not really scary. There are some fantastic deaths in it, gore-wise, watched it a couple of times. I have gone back and watched it because there are some parts where you can spot different things. Do you know what? I'm going to put Cabin in the Woods in A just because it is a very, very unique movie. I feel like it does something different. Texas Chainsaw 3D was just terrible. I really like the original. There's just something so creepy about the original and terrifying. The remake, the 3D one, it just wasn't good. I can't even properly remember it, but I remember watching it at the time, thinking, what a waste of my time. The Nightmare on Elm Street remake. This is a bit of a tricky one because this film gets a bit of a bad rap. But in terms of scariness, it is so much scarier than the original Nightmare on Elm Street movies. The old Nightmare on Elm Street movies are so, goofy and silly. They're still a good watch. They're classics, obviously. But they're just silly. Whereas the remake really took it down a darker path, and they sort of added this whole narrative of Freddy being a paedophile, which I'll give it was an interesting route to take it. I can't remember the name of the actor who plays him in this. Got nothing on Robert Englund. I'm gonna put this in C. It was pretty scary. I mean, the whole concept of Nightmare on Elm Street is just terrifying. And the thing they did cool in that is when they were what's it called? Not REM sleep. There's something where they're half asleep, half awake, and they're dreaming but they're awake. It's really weird. Now moving on to The Conjuring. I'll be honest, I'm just gonna put The Conjuring in S tier straight away. There was such a hype and an obsession around this movie when it came out, and for good reason. It was absolutely terrifying. I can't remember how old I was when this came out, but this is one that stuck with me. And you know how I remember it stuck with me? I went home and I had cousins round, so they were sleeping in my room, and so I was sleeping on the floor of my brother's bedroom, and I literally remember lying there, literally for some reason not wanting to shut my eyes in case Bathsheba would appear, and I just remember staring at the wall while I was literally lying like a mummy on the floor, staring at the wall until I fell asleep. But there are just some really well constructed jump scares, and it's just, I feel like it wasn't really revolutionary for horror, but I feel like this was the first amazing horror movie in a little while. That might have been a wild statement, but just from my current recollection. But it's rewatchable. It's still scary because even though you know the jump scares are coming, it's just so creepy. But yeah, I'm gonna put The Conjuring in S tier. Now we got the Insidious trilogy. Insidious 1 is S tier. It just is. Again, it does do something slightly different, the whole thing with him going to I can't remember the name of the actual thing, but it's the ghost dimension. It's not that, but that's the name of a Paranormal Activity movie. And that, the demon, wasn't actually the scariest bit about it, and what I loved about this movie was there was jump scares sometimes, but the suspense built. To be honest, all of the Insidious films, the suspense is absolutely masterful. So well done. Because there's a bit where Patrick Wilson's character is walking through the Upside Down, whatever it is, and there's the ghosts of the people, but they're frozen, and you're just expecting them to jump out, but they sound effect. So respect to Insidious for doing that, and it's just very well acted, great cast. It's got that older woman in it who's in every horror movie ever. She's just in The Quarry, I think, on PS5. But yeah, Insidious is S tier. Insidious Chapter 2 literally picks up where the first one left off. Oh yeah, fantastic ending for Insidious 1. Number 2, not as good for me. For me, it's not as good as the number 1, but it is still brilliantly done. I'm gonna put it in A. I'm gonna put it below. I think I enjoyed Cabin in the Woods just a little bit more than Insidious 2. Insidious 3. Is this the girl who can't walk? She's in a car accident. Oh, it was quite a little bit scary, but... Or am I getting them mixed up? Am I thinking of The Last Key? Thing is, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put 3 and 4 in C. They can't, just because they kind of mesh together in my brain, and they're not super memorable. 1 and 2 have specific memorable moments that shook me, whereas those two, I can't really pinpoint anything in particular. Now we move on to the Paranormal Activity series. Now, I'm actually watching these through with my brother at the minute. He's never watched them. I've watched them all. What to say about these? Paranormal Activity changed horror. The first Paranormal Activity marked a shift from gore, i.e. the likes of Saw, and into a fascination with the paranormal, and it was Paranormal Activity 1 that took the concept of found footage and then applied it to a confined space and added this paranormal element. Like, obviously there had been paranormal horror movies before. I'm not saying Paranormal Activity invented that, but that movie really marked a shift in the trend of what was popular within the horror genre, is what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna put 1 and 2 in A. Although it's done a lot of horror, you can argue it's S tier. The beginning of number 1 is so slow. I actually prefer number 2 to number 1, and these two link really well together. I'm gonna put 3 in B, because I think these 3, they could have just ended it there and it would have been a really good horror trilogy, because 3 is a prequel. It explains how the 2 girls come to be haunted by the demon Toby. I'm actually a bit unsettled because I haven't shut my curtains, so I'm just looking into my French doors. French door sounds posh, doesn't it? And it's just like a lovely black abyss. I'm gonna keep looking at the screen. So yeah, 1, 2 and 3, they're good movies. Just 1's a bit slow, but 2 gets going pretty quickly. Number 4. I'm gonna be honest, I'm putting this in D tier. The only cool thing it really did was the thing with the Xbox, but it just wasn't interesting, really. Even the ending, like with the Katie or whatever her name is jumping out, like, I just wasn't invested really in the characters. One thing Paranormal Activity 2 did the best was made you want the characters to survive. Like, their chemistry as a family was really believable, and that's what helped sell the film, ultimately. And the marked ones, you know what, marked ones I'm going to put in B. A completely different take on the Paranormal Activity series, like almost a completely separate story but also linked, and then obviously very much linked in the sort of climax of the movie. I really enjoyed Sinister. Oh wait, I'll quickly do the other Paranormal Activity. Ghost Dimension is the worst one. It's the best thing about it they showed in the trailer, where she talks to the girl through the telly. But there's no point me saying anything else on that, because Sinister. I'm putting Sinister there. I enjoyed The Conjuring more, but Sinister, for me, is the scariest movie I have ever seen. I'm not saying like everyone will find it the scariest movie ever, but it is just it's so disturbing. I remember first watching this film in broad daylight with my best friend in the living room, and it still like affected me deeply. It is so twisted, the ending is amazing, it's just, yeah, I can't really say too much about it. What is so good about this movie is so much of it is so dark, so you're always on edge. Ethan Hawke is brilliant. I love Ethan Hawke as an actor, and he's really good in this. Is Sinister 2 on here? Is it kind of annoying that they don't put them together? I can't actually see it. Oh no, there it is. Sinister 2. I think it's top of C for me. Nowhere near. I mean, it's still creepy because it takes the same concepts as Sinister 1, but just nowhere near as good. And the characters are kind of annoying, apart from the detective, of course. Next we have Belko Experiment, not like a supernatural horror, but a very interesting concept. Basically, they work in this building in the middle of nowhere, and then it goes into lockdown, and then a voice on the speaker says, there are X amount of you need to kill 20 people in the next hour, or we'll kill 40 people. And they have like chips in their heads, which they blow up. And it is like a really interesting experiment, ultimately. I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna put it at like the bottom of A. It's a really well done, pretty unique movie, I'd say. I'll put it in A. The Visit. The Visit has an A tier level twist. I did predict the twist, to be fair. But it's still like, when it comes, you're like, oh my gosh. My only criticism of this is I found it a little bit slow. There is one scene where the grandma is sort of slowly crawling after the girl under the house. That is just bloody horrifying. What is it with like an old person like chasing you? It is a good movie, very good movie, well worth watching. I'm gonna put it, I enjoyed Marked Ones more. I'm gonna put it in between Paranormal Activity 3 and Marked Ones. I think that's fair. Next up we've got The Conjuring 2. This one is based in Britain, and while I believe number 1 is loosely based on like a true personal story or whatever, number 2 is very much based on a true occurrence. Like, you can read about it, and the whole debate is whether the family were lying to get money and press because they were very poor. It's very interesting, obviously, in this film. That is not the case, but it still leaves it. Like, it still shows the papers, people not believing them, thinking they were staging it. It was just Janet doing voices and whatnot. Nowhere near as good as the first one, but still very enjoyable. Still has some very, very scary moments, and some very well done moments. I'm going to put it at the top of B, to be honest. I still really enjoyed it, but I enjoy most of the Conjuring universe. Well, I say that, I can see 2 on this list which were absolutely terrible. Annabelle's a tricky one. quite scary actually. Do you know what? I'm just gonna group the Annabelles together because they're all sort of similar. To be honest, wasn't there another one? Or am I making it up? Come on, show yourself. I think that's it, but I think there is 3. No, I could be wrong. I could be getting mixed up. Yeah, I mean the Annabelle movies. Obviously, the doll itself is just massively creepy. But yeah, they're okay. There are some scary moments, but other parts of them in both movies, they're just a bit meh. I think I might prefer Creation actually, if that is the one. If it's not, don't blame me. Blame the terrible tier list. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what? We may as well just run through the rest of The Conjuring. The Nun. Shocking. They really took one of the most terrifying, horror villains, which had so much potential, and totally butchered it. They should just make another one, but have it not linked to this movie at all. It is slow. It is, I think that's just the word, it's slow. It is just not scary at all. I think it might have made me jump once, the bit where she's got the sheet over her head and she's sat in that chair. But apart from that, I just can't believe they butchered it so much. And then La Llorona I enjoyed it. It's better than Ghost Dimension, I'm putting it there. Curse of La Llorona scared me more, but I won't get too much into it, but there are so many plot holes, and the whole concept of La Llorona is it's flawed and it contradicts itself throughout the movie. So I think D tier is perfectly fine for it, to be quite honest. Halloween remake, pretty good. I'm gonna put it in B. I'm gonna put it. The thing is, I generally tend to prefer supernatural stuff more. I enjoyed The Visit more than Halloween. The best thing about Halloween is that amazing one take where it follows Michael through the house. It tracks him and then it moves away and it just shows him appearing in the house. That is genuinely incredible. I wish more horror movies did stuff like that. But yeah, it was okay. Nothing too new, but it's always nice to see Mike Myers. A Quiet Place. Again, one of those movies that really did have so much hype when it came out. I actually didn't watch it in the cinemas, which I will always regret because I love this movie. Number 2 was bitterly disappointing. A very abrupt ending, just not a very well edited movie, number 2. Number 1, however, John Krasinski, my boy, one of my favourite actors of all time. He nailed it, acting and directing it. I think that this is definitely an A-tier movie. I'm going to stick it in there. I think that's fair. I think Insidious 2 is a better horror movie than A Quiet Place, but I can't put Paranormal Activity 2 ahead of A Quiet Place. A Quiet Place is just a better made movie. The Babadook. The Babadook wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. It was more almost like a heartwarming story of a mother and a son learning to love each other and be a family. Obviously there were scary parts, but it more did just have a pretty good story. I'm gonna put it in B. I'm gonna slot it in there. I think that's probably a fair place. Don't Breathe. It's an interesting concept. I'll be honest, I just got a bit bored. I got a bit bored of it, to be honest. I think I'm gonna put it's better than Nightmare on Elm Street. But yeah, and that scene with the guy's semen is disgusting. Yeah, do Nightmare on Elm Street was a bit weird. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thing is, this is just a way of me sitting on the fence and copping out. But my opinions on movies change all the time, so I could do this in a week and it could be a completely different order. Moving on. Do you know what? I'm gonna do 2 movies at once. Straight there and straight there. These 2, in terms of order, can be completely interchangeable. I think these 2 movies, and this isn't like a hot take, though Hereditary and Get Out are the 2 greatest modern day horror movies, definitely in the 2010s, probably from the 2010s up to now. Hereditary is the perfect example of a horror movie that does not need jump scares to create a ominous, creepy, unsettling tone. Really, really good story building with a few twists in there. And oh my gosh, Toni Collette in this literally gives one of the greatest performances of all time. I'm not even saying horror movie performances, I mean just acting performances. How she didn't win an Oscar for this, I will never know. Well, I do know, is because horror movies get horrifically snubbed the majority of the time at the Oscars. If you're unsure whether to watch this movie, watch it for the pure fact that you will just be in awe of Toni Collette's performance. Like, it is genuinely incredible, and her performance is what feeds into, it just makes it so believable. It genuinely is fantastic, and there are some truly hideously shocking moments in this movie, and there's no jump scares with the loud wham or whatever stupid noise a lot of horror movies make. This is just such a creepy film, and it's just incredible. It's one of those films you can go back and watch. It's almost like a comfort watch because it's so good, if that makes sense. I'm definitely going to be watching this Halloween. And then Get Out, Daniel Kaluuya, again an amazing performance. It's just unsettling and creepy, yet again. The whole concept of it, I won't say it in case no one's seen it, but if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? There's just not much I can say. Great ending, amazing acting across the board. The silent auction scene, oh my gosh, that is just so good. That's when I clocked. I was like, yeah, I think I know what's going on. I didn't know about the brain bits, but yeah, for me, Get Out and Hereditary are the 2 best modern day horror movies. I found Sinister the scariest. I'm actually very happy with my top 3 at the minute. Sinister was the scariest, but not the best horror movie. Next we have Happy Death Day. I like the premise of it. Gets a little bit repetitive, but it's like Groundhog Day, but horror, essentially. I remember the reveal of the killer being pretty cool. It was okay. It was one of those films you watch once, probably don't need to watch it again. I'll put it in C. Oh, I'm gonna put it on the C. Actually, it was kind of goofy. Hush. It's basically about this woman who is deaf and mute. Is she deaf and mute? Yeah. And she starts getting stalked by this man in this mask outside of her house. It is pretty scary, and it will make you scared of a home invasion or whatever. Just looking at this list, it's not better than Sinister 2. I enjoyed the Annabelle films more. I'm gonna stick it in here. I liked it better than Don't Breathe, for sure. Okay, here is where this is probably going to be the biggest hot take of the video. How low am I going to put these? these It movies. I really don't like these It movies. I don't find Pennywise scary. I find the whole concept boring. I think quite a lot of the child acting in the first movie is pretty poor. I think people just overlook the bad acting moments because they're fans of the kids. Number 2 is redeemed. What's his name? Is it Bill Hader? Gives a great performance. There are some great performances in it. Chapter 2. So I definitely preferred number 2. I just don't find it interesting at all, really. So it's not a D-tier movie. What did I enjoy more, It or I enjoyed Happy Death Day more than It? And then I found these more scary than It, so It goes to the bottom of C. It Chapter 2 can go there. Literally, a lot of people say that it's an S-tier horror movie, but I just don't see what's so compelling about the It movies. Let me know what you think down below. Am I being crazy? Or do you agree with me? It Follows. It Follows is such a weird... Basically, it's like you get followed by this demon, but it's like a sexually transmitted disease, like you pass it on if you have sex with someone. It's basically like an analogy for STDs, this whole movie. But it is still quite creepy, but I'm gonna put it at the top of D there, like... It was alright. I'm actually gonna move Texas Chainsaw down. Yeah, actually, why is Texas Chainsaw so high up? It can stay like that though. So, actually, I don't know if I've seen this one either. I'm seeing a few I actually haven't seen. Is that Mother? I haven't seen that, and I haven't seen Oculus. Lights Out. This surprised me. Yes, it has a lot of the sort of cheap jump scares, but the concept of this is like mad, and some of the scenes are so well done. I'm actually going to put this in A tier. I'm going to put it here. Like, you need to watch it. Basically, is this demon that only exists in dark. Like, as soon as there are lights on, she like disappears. I can't really say too much without spoiling specific scenes, but trust me, there are some fantastically done scenes, and I did find it very, very scary, to be completely honest. Like, the demon in it is brutal. I don't really think it's a demon, it's like a girl. But yeah, it is scary. I say it's an A-tier horror movie. Now we move on to the Ouija movies. I can't tell which one. I know this is the first one. The first one is like absolutely diabolical. Like, it's just so bad. However, on the other hand, Ouija 2, which is a prequel, is actually very well done. Like, me and my brother genuinely really enjoyed this movie. It's just, where do I put it? I'm gonna put it at the bottom of B, because it's definitely better than Sinister 2. I'm gonna stick it there. Yeah, it's probably not better than Paramount. Yeah, it's not better than them. So yeah, I'll stick it at the end of B. Ouija 1, horrendous. Ouija 2, actually pretty good. The Burge. Oh, the Burge is iconic, isn't it? I'm gonna put Burge in A. I'm gonna put Burge. It's probably better than Lights Out. I'm gonna stick it there. I'll stick it there. Election Year. I really liked Election Year, actually. I'm gonna put that at the bottom of B, to be fair. And then this has to be number 2, right? I think so. Yeah, I preferred Election Year, to be completely honest. But it's still a B-tier movie. The Burge, just what an awesome concept. Not for real life, please. But yeah, brilliant movies. Pet Sematary, I'm going to go through these quite quickly because there's not many I like on it remaining. Pet Sematary. It just didn't do anything new, really, necessarily, with the story. I'd seen the original, I've read the book. It just didn't interest me, so I'm going to put it in D. I'm going to put it... Oh, I really don't like Texas Chainsaw. I'm going to put it there. I probably enjoyed Eurona more. Scream 4. Scream 4. Probably the weakest, right, out of the Scream movies, potentially. Oh no, it's quite good, isn't it? With, what's her name? Emma Roberts. Is that her name? Is it Emma Roberts I'm thinking of? I think it is. Scream 4. I think I'm gonna put it. The Scream movies aren't my favourite horror movies, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of like slashers. I'm gonna put it at the top of C. Yeah, it's better than Sinister. Oh, but Annabelle. I prefer Annabelle to Scream. I'd rather watch Annabelle. I think this list is flawed. Wait, hang on. There we go. Perfect. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to do no revisions at the end because I could just sit here for ages. Changing Slenderman is comfortably I literally watched this like 2 weeks ago. Comfortably the worst horror movie I've ever seen. Not scary in the slightest. God awful acting. Cheap budget. Looks terrible. Poor editing. Poor story. They literally would have made money just from the title of the movie. That's it. There's nothing else redeeming about this movie. Don't waste the hour and a half of your life. Seriously, like, it's not even me joking. It is genuinely horrendous. Split. Oh, Split is fantastic, isn't it? I'm gonna put Split here. I can't put it above the Paranormal Activities. James McAvoy, brilliant performance. So unsettling, creepy. I just love the whole. You don't know what personality you're gonna get. It sort of lost me where he morphed into the Beast, and I think that's kind of why I haven't watched Glass yet. But I will get around to watching it at some point. Oh, The Strangers. I'm putting The Strangers in S tier. You know, now I first watched The Strangers when I was literally like 12 years old. I watched it by accident, and I was terrified. It's a home invasion movie, and there are just scenes where there's no music cue or whatever, but you'll just see the masked dude just in the background of this couple's house. It's so mad, so scary. Like, it's so scary. I find stuff like that genuinely terrifying because it technically could happen in real life. So mad. And that line, what is it? The guy says, "Why are you doing this to us?" And the girl replies, "You were home." Like, literally just like insinuating it could have been anyone, you were just unlucky, which is just so sinister, but so well delivered. Oh gosh, The Boy. I don't know if you guys watch pretty much It. He is just a fantastic. He's like, I think he's probably them and the Sidemen, but Pretty Much It. If I need a laugh, I will watch a Pretty Much It video. He basically reacts to movies. He is so funny, and his video on The Boy is just a bit like, go and watch it. But I now can't see this without thinking of that video, but this is a terrible, terrible movie. Is it better than... Yeah, I'm going to stick it. It's better than Ghost Hunter. Oh, is it better? No, it's not better than... Honestly, all of D tier can just whatever. Just whatever. The Witch. Really, really good movie. Beautifully shot. Amazing performances. I think I'm going to put it in B. It's just where in B. I'm gonna stick it. I'm actually gonna put it at the end of B. Like, it was good, but I sort of lost interest. Kind of. Oh no, actually. Oh, the thing with Black Phillip. Oh, it is scary, isn't it? It needs to move up. That needs to move down. The Witch or the Babadook? Probably the Witch, actually. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Then we've got the Unfriended movies. I'm gonna lump these in together. I actually preferred the Dark Web one. Actually, no, the Dark Web one was really stupid because, I mean, they're both stupid. Unfriended was actually like the spirit of the dead, the girl who killed herself, like haunting their Skype chat, whereas this was like oh no, actually I prefer Dark Web. This was like a group of people on the Dark Web who, they were like hackers. The only thing about that was the like pixelated faces were like so goofy, like so unbelievably goofy. But I did quite enjoy them. I'm gonna put them in C. You guys are gonna hate me, but I'm putting them above. I'm putting them above it just because I don't like it. Us. First half of this movie is excellent. Second half not as strong. Sort of the opposite of Nope, which I thought was really bad. The final third is fantastic of Nope. The first third is just so slow. I mean, Nope isn't on it, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. It's my video. I think the thing with Nope was, I think it knew the kind of messages it wanted to convey, but in the first half didn't know the best way of setting that up. Like, it's all well and good being a movie that you discuss after, but I think if you have to properly dig and make stretches when you're talking about a movie after, I don't think necessarily the movie's doing its job. To an extent it is, but for me it just didn't do it well enough. But the final act of the movie is fantastic. Us. Yeah, no, so for me Jordan Peele's movies have just progressively got worse, but it's kind of difficult when you start with Get Out, The Only Way Is Down. Us, I'm gonna put it... Oh, it's a good commentary, but as like a movie, I wouldn't say I enjoy it. Then, like if I was gonna sit down and watch a horror movie, I would not watch Us. So I'm gonna stick it... Oh, I'm gonna put it there. But honestly, it could be lower, to be honest. And then your next was actually good. It's got the woman from Step Up in it, Step Up 3. And she's like an absolute badass. It's like Ready or Not, basically. Well, this came before Ready or Not, which I'm surprised isn't on here. I really like that film. But your next, she's getting like hunted in this big mansion. But she's actually like a beast because she like grew up in the ends, basically. Yeah, I think actually it's a really enjoyable film. I'm gonna put it here, like above Hush, but below Scream. And that is it. That is my horror movie tier list. I'm actually very happy with that. I'm actually gonna move The Strangers. No, just for how much The Strangers affected me, is going in as tier. Even though I was 12, but I'm not gonna and ah about my list anymore, to be completely honest, because I could just go backwards and forwards all the time. So that is gonna do it. Please do let me know what you think, what you agree with, what you disagree with. Let's keep it civil though, don't go abusing me and calling me names. Let's have a discussion, because I could talk about movies forever, and please feel free and we can have a chat. But that is going to do it for tonight's video. this is the first of 4 Halloween themed videos, so you have 3 more to look forward to. Exactly what are those videos? Well, you'll just have to subscribe, turn notifications on, and see for yourself. But thank you so much for tuning in to this video. I really hope you found it entertaining as well as relaxing, of course. If you are able